We have this from NJ.com. Drones reported above New Jersey nuclear power plants, New York airport officials say. And all this alongside this story from the Daily Mail. Mystery as radioactive shipment goes missing in New Jersey amid drone invasion. The rumors circulating right now are that these are special nuclear radiation detection drones that have been deployed to either search for missing nuclear materials or dirty bombs, or it's a test. There's a viral thread from some random guy, no, it's an anonymous account, saying that these are HPGE drones designed for tracking radiation, and they're being deployed at night intentionally for a few reasons. I don't know if this is from the thread exactly, but others have said that the temperature differential at dusk, anything that's sitting in the sun that heats up, when the sun goes down, the surrounding environment cools off, but the metal object may retain heat, making it easier to see with thermal imaging. However, this individual said it's intentional. The U.S. government is testing radiation detection drone technology, and they need to know what the public will do if they launch these drones without telling them. So they're trying to see what the public reaction will be, which is why they're intentionally saying we have no idea what's going on. But we all know they do.
Or they're just testing out what the public will do if there's an alien invasion or an alleged alien invasion.
But these things are they're just not alien. You know what I mean?
No, it's clearly not.
Definitely not alien, but people think they are. And it's like the Voltron of conspiracy theories.
These things have FAA regulations.
It is. Yeah. Voltron. Whatever you want it to be, it's that. It's a Rorschach test. If it's if it's Project Bluebeam, it's Project Bluebeam.
Right,
if it's Northwoods, it's Northwoods. False flag. If it's the government testing on, it's everything. I personally, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think it's like the new Mothman prophecy. People in West Virginia in November of whatever that was, 60s, no, maybe in the 50s, saw something flying in the sky, and then it caused hysteria, and the whole town went crazy.
Well, there's a little bit more to it.
Well, yeah.
People were reported seeing a 6-foot-tall figure with glowing eyes standing off the side of the road. And everybody, what could this thing be? Do you know what they believe it is?
No.
The Mothman?
Bigfoot.
No, they think that it was in the dark because of the proportions of owls, a specific owl.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it was far away. It looked like it was up close. Or what is it? No. It looked like it was far away when it was up close. Because the size of the head and the body and the eyes, people were seeing an owl close to the road. They thought it was a larger figure farther away in the silhouette, and then started reporting this monster.
Whatever it was, though, it caused a panic in people, and people wanted to shoot out of the sky. Everyone started seeing it. And if you read these stories and what people are going through, even just politicians in Staten Island saying we want transparency or we're going to start shooting these things down, there's like a psychic trauma happening. And people do believe it's whatever horrific thing you believe in, it's that. Since there's no transparency, every theory is now accelerated, and you can believe anything.
That's what they want, right?
Every one of these things, Luigi was that. Everything is a Rorschach test, and it's the thing where whatever you believe in, it's now that, and you can believe in that fear.
I'll tell you what I think. All right, I don't believe the nuclear dirty bomb conspiracy theories. People are saying like, oh, a nuke got stolen from Ukraine, and now they're panicking. I don't believe that. Some people are saying it's going to be a false flag attack. There's going to be a bomb going off, and they're going to blame Iran and say they were searching for it the whole time. Don't believe it.
That's what Alex Jones said.
Like it could be likely, but no. Why do you not think so?
Because if they want to false flag, there have to be preliminary warnings to prime the public to the threat of Iran. So if they launch these drones and they're flying around, and these drones are doing nothing, they have FAA lights as per regulation blinking as they're supposed to, it does not look like a foreign. Why would Iran care about our FAA regulations?
Yeah, I don't think it has to be Iran, but like it could be Russia. They've been stoking fears on any other.
How do you get a drone all the way across the?
Now,
where are they being launched from?
That's why Jeff Van Drew said a mothership. But if the false flag, I say no, because if they were trying to false flag us, they would come out and be like, guys, we think they're going to attack us. We're going to launch drones. Oh no. However, it makes more sense, and this is slightly more plausible, that there actually is a threat, and they're terrified to say this because it would cause an economic crash. If the U.S. government came out and said, we have intelligence that we can reasonably assess to be probable at the very least, we are dispatching drones to search for any kind of terror device or weapons, the Eastern Seaboard evacuates. I mean, who's going to stick around New Jersey when they're saying, yeah, there could be a dirty bomb somewhere in your neighborhood? Right. People are going to be like, a lot of people would leave. They would stop spending money. So it potentially there. I'll tell you what I think.
What about a psychological operation?
Perhaps the whole thing is they launch these drones and they're doing something to get a law passed. One of the conspiracies is that they launch the drones, they terrify people, and then say, we need drone detection and drone restrictions to stop the chaos. And people are demanding it. I think I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's all of it. Not so much like in a sense of what you're saying, it can be whatever you want it to be, Shane. I think hobbyists are flying drones.
Oh, yeah.
It starts with somebody launches a drone for some reason. Perhaps the government is doing something. That's it. A small program with 10 drones flies around. They're large and they're doing a test on them. Some people notice, they grumble. The next day, a few other people fly some drones. They're commercial. You can buy them at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Every Best Buy's got like 4 or 5 different variations. The big ones freak people out, likely a government test or a university test or something like this. But they're legal, FAA
Or
regulated.
DJI Inspire, the Inspire, the biggest DJI drone is huge.
big is it?
It's like this big, and it goes like 85 miles an hour.
They're saying they're seeing 6 foot by 6 foot drones.
Yeah, this one's
Massive.
like 3.5 foot wide.
So let's say a small handful of large drones doing some kind of test or operation for the government or corporation. People freak out by seeing them for the first time, and those are massive, and they report them. Start spreading rumors like, I saw these crazy drones. People start looking up and seeing commercial drones. They start reporting commercial drones. Stupider people look up at the moon and see the corona and go, what's this giant ring in the sky? And report more. Now you've got mass hysteria. So I certainly think something is happening. I'm saying this because people like Michael Tracy said, look, I'm trying not to be biased, but I went out there and that is weird. Whatever it is I was seeing flying around is not a normal drone. So I believe it is happening, but I believe mass hysteria is playing up something that's probably not as big a deal.
And people are taking advantage of it, like pranksters who are like, well, let's throw our own drones up in the sky.
Yeah.
It's just like after shootings happen, all of a sudden there's manifestos, and you got the wrong manifesto. You believe in this
It's
and
happening
that.
now.
There was
Exactly.
With that school shooting that just happened.
Yep.
People are already spreading a fake manifesto.
Yeah.
These are because it's a form of accelerationism, whether they know it or not. They're participating in accelerationism by. It's like when the New Zealand shooting happened, and they had that manifesto.
Christchurch.
That person knew that manifesto would be read by the right and blame it on the left, and read it, and the left would read it and blame it on the right. And that's what a lot of these things.
I mean,
tend
he
to
live
be.
streamed the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, and this is a form of accelerationism, which is what's happening with the drones. You know, 'cause it's all of these things.
But
So-
Trump's not allowed to have a drone over his rally because it was denied.
Interesting that we have the drone narrative,
And it's
throughout
like,
the whole year like
I
that.
literally can take a $30 drone and do better.
When Trump
security.
says he knows what the drones are, I'm fairly positive it's because Peter Thiel and Elon Musk know what they are.
I
Clearly,
saw
they
this-
must know.
Yeah, Palantir. They're probably Palantir drones. They literally just ran. They ran an
Thank
ad
you.
during the Army Navy game about killer drones, suicide drones.
so-
You saw that ad?
Oh, of course.
It's like, what? Did I just see what I think I saw?
Unbelievable.
I just saw this on Twitter. Twitter user Peachy Keenan pointed this out, and it's actually a good point. Faking a nuclear attack would accomplish a lot: emergency war powers, inauguration canceled, and possible war with Russia
Or Iran.
So not saying that I think that this is the case, but I mean, if you're going to put on your tinfoil hat, that's a legitimately compelling argument. If you're of the opinion that the deep state will do anything to keep Donald Trump from actually
You could
taking
read the
office.
Operation Northwoods papers from 1962, where they planned to harm American citizens and blame it on Cuba. And what Tim's saying
With
is, why
drone
wouldn't they-
airplanes.
right? If it's
Controlled airplanes.
if it's a false flag, why not pepper it in now? But like the narrative's been set that these are our enemies. I don't know if while the drones there, they would say, I'm just guessing here, but I don't know if they would say that like the drones are here, we're searching for Iranian or Russian dirty bombs or something.
Well,
it would happen, and then they'd blame it on whoever they picked, even though we planted it like what was supposed to happen in Northwoods. But there's been multiple types of Northwood events throughout the years.
So I didn't save the tweet or anything, but I did see a tweet that there was nuclear material that was lost.
Yeah, in Ukraine.
That's one of those
Yeah,
stories.
but
No,
You saw the
here in the
community
U.S.
notes?
in New Jersey.
Yeah, no, I know.
Right,
yeah.
and the community notes response was that it's radioactive, but so relatively low that it doesn't have any like use. People.
Actually, I mean, so fair enough that it couldn't actually do harm, but the psychological effect would still be dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
You'd still have people panicking. You'd still have people saying, "Oh no, we have to be worried about radiation."
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened, over COVID.
If in the next couple of weeks they come out and announce we are engaged in a drone operation to detect nuclear material, there are concerns of potential retaliation from our enemies. We kept this under wraps because we did not want to cause a panic. But if in any way they report that or a leak happens and a journalist at ABC says we have documents showing the government is looking for nuclear material, then I would start to believe that maybe there either is going to be an attack or a false flag. You know, I lean more towards attacks being real. Some people live in the world where they think false flags are always the more likely. I think they're the less likely.
But false flag doesn't mean it's a fake attack, right? Like there's
Right,
real
means the government did
violence. But
I'm just saying, like, if an attack happens, I'd be more inclined to believe it literally was Russia or Iran as opposed to the U.S. government doing it. But I don't put it past the U.S. government because of Northwoods.
But what's the geopolitical calculation there for a Russia or Iran to carry out that kind of attack? Like, you know,
Benefits
how
the
is that
most.
going to benefit them?
So the math here can go either direction. If Russia attacks the U.S., and I don't know that Russia would directly attack the U.S. That doesn't seem to make sense. But the logic would be they want to shock the public into rejecting the Ukraine war. But it could also go the complete inverse. Oh no, we've been attacked. Now we have to get involved. So that's why it doesn't necessarily make sense. One of the arguments often made for why a country would preemptively strike another is to deter them and shatter public support for any kind of involvement. So mass civilian death, one would argue, would lead people to say, like, why are we getting involved in war? We don't want this. Even after 9/11, there was a massive movement against any involvement in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But I think with the United States,
Pearl Harbor?
right? If there
Might
was
have known that fleet was coming.
if a bomb went off in the U.S., this country is going to be like bang the war drums.
The majority of Americans, even in the wake of Pearl Harbor, it was such an isolationist country at the time.
Yep.
They were still against getting involved in the war.
However, I don't know that Iran could be accused of being strategic or intelligent in these regards.
Exactly.
And there are a lot of elements in the Middle East, we've seen with things like 9/11, where there are people across the Middle East, whether you think it was direct Saudi involvement, we know Saudis were involved, but I mean like governmental involvement or whatever, who are going to want to carry these things out. Let me put it this way. You don't need a conspiracy theory. Why, allegedly, did that guy shoot the CEO of that healthcare company? It clearly didn't do anything to stop the problems of the healthcare industry, but it makes them feel good. These people are deranged and they want to strike at a symbol and they want to feel like they're doing something. So if there was an attack on this country, it could be as simple as extremist groups in the Middle East or Russian sympathizers or outright Russians are basically saying America needs to be taught a lesson and we don't care what the results are going to be or the ramifications. It's hard to know for sure.
When it comes to Russia, though, Russia benefits from chaos in the U.S. So if they the more discord they can sow in the U.S., the better they like it. So there doesn't have to be like a side they're helping. All they want is to have Americans fighting Americans. That's a benefit to Russia.
It's part of accelerationism. It's like, didn't the Russians pull off that kind of psyop where they had people fighting online and they actually ended up going to the protests and the seed was Russia planting on both sides of the argument, and then it went into the real world and there was protests.
Look at all the protests, the anti-Israel protests that happened over the summer. I mean, it's in the United States. Like, that's exactly what our foreign attitude.
And the country has a great cover right now for all types of crime, having open borders, having let the prisons open during COVID, all this stuff. So it's like you could blame it on anybody.
This is a challenge. If a bomb were to detonate in northern Jersey, a dirty bomb could contaminate the area and kill tens of thousands or more. Would you guys support war?
No.
If Iran came out and said, we, the great nation of Iran, have stricken at the heart of the United States as a sign that when we are everywhere, we are all at once, and if you come for us, we will come for you, and it'll happen again, would you support intervention, war?
Well, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't classify it as intervention. I would classify it as retaliation.
Like defense.
I don't
Or
imagine.
say incursion. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't want to see American boots on the ground, but I would be like, look, if you want to go ahead and take out Iran's ability to attack us like that, because I do believe the U.S. intelligence apparatus has at least a solid handle on where Iran's military bases are and where those kind of attacks.
The centrifuges, the Israelis had a virus that literally sabotaged. Centrifuges. They're on top of that stuff.
So I mean, if there were an attack that were claimed, if Iran attacked the United States and claimed the attack, said we did that, then I would have no problem with the U.S. Having airstrikes. No problem at all.
But if they said there were like metal tubes over there and that they were WMDs, like what if our government was telling us that? And that we needed to unilaterally invade the country And
I wouldn't support boots on the ground.
Yeah, I would not
sounds
support
similar to
any
something
kind
else
of
that happened.
right. I support zero actions in Iran pertaining to what they might do. Don't care. Nope, not doing that. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.